that is your continuation. When you say something, that statement carries your signature. That is your continuation. When you do something, the action also carries your signature. That is your continuation. Whether we continue beautifully or not is up to us. If you produce beautiful thoughts, speech, and actions, then your continuation will be beautiful. Every one of us cares about a beautiful continuation. I myself also care about a beautiful continuation. The disintegration of this body does not mean the end of me, no. It is like my pot of tea. There are tea leaves inside. When I pour hot water in it, the essence, the most essential of the tea, comes out into the water, and I drink the tea. When I pour hot water for a second time, the tea becomes weaker, and I still enjoy it. But if you keep pouring new hot water, then the tea leaves have lost most of the essence. The tea I drink may continue in the form of a poem, in the form of a thought, in the form of a Dharma talk. If you look deeply, you'll see the continuation of the tea. What is left in the pot is not truly the tea anymore. It is just a little bit of residue that you can put in the ground to nourish plants. So when we die, the disintegration of this body is only the residue, not much. The best things in us have gone in terms of karma, in terms of thought, speech, and action, and that is our true continuation. So we should care about our continuation by taking care of our thought, our speech, and our action. Because nothing is lost. This is true. That kind of energy will come together, and that will allow us to manifest again as a continuation. So to die does not mean that from something you become nothing. From someone you become no one. That is not true. We should have time to reflect on that. To die in our minds means that from someone you suddenly become no one. That is not the truth. It is not true that from something you become nothing. When you look deeply into something like a cloud, you see that the nature of the cloud is the nature of no birth and no death. What does it mean to be born? In our mind, to be born means that from nothing we suddenly become something. From no one we suddenly become someone. That's our definition of birth. But looking deeply, practicing meditation, you see there is nothing like that in the world. A cloud does not come from nothing. A cloud is a continuation of the water in the lake, in the ocean, a continuation of heat, and so on. So the birth of a cloud means manifestation, a new manifestation. When a cloud dies, what does it mean? A cloud cannot die. A cloud can only become something else, like rain, hail, snow, ice, or tea. A cloud cannot just become nothing. Imagine a cloud floating in the sky and half of it begins to be transformed into rain. Visualize the half cloud looking down and see half of herself becoming a stream of water, and the cloud is smiling to herself in her new manifestation. Nothing is lost. To be a cloud floating in the sky is beautiful. To become the rain falling on the hills, on the grass, becoming one with the river, is also wonderful. Why are we afraid of dying? There is no death. There is only transformation, new manifestation. You should have time to look deeply. There is a fear that one day we will get old, we will die, and that is why the practice of meditation, the practice of deep looking, can help us transcend birth and death. When I was a novice monk, I thought it was difficult practice, but as I grew up, I see that it's not so difficult. You might touch your immortality, your nature of no birth and no death, just by looking deeply. Scientists, if they do well, can also find that truth. The French scientist Lavoisier said that nothing is born, nothing dies. He practiced looking deeply into the matter and realized this. If it is so, why should we be afraid of being born or dying? Looking at anything like a flower, a cloud, or a bird, you can touch the nature of no birth and no death. And that is the ultimate aim of Buddhist meditation, to touch your own nature of no birth and no death. With that kind of realization, fear is no longer in us. True happiness can only be there when there is no fear. With fear inside, true happiness will not be possible. So, apparently, there is birth and death, but touching things deeply, we see they are only appearances, only manifestations. A cloud does not really die. A cloud, although having disappeared from the sky, is still there in its new form, be it rain or snow. That is why when you drink your tea or when you drink your water, if you can see the cloud in the tea and in the water, you begin to see the truth. That is why it is good to have time to sit down and practice looking deeply at the nature of ourselves, the nature of reality, and the true nature of no birth and no death.